What is Rendezvous point? Okay, Rendezvous point is something where all the users, I mean, like say for example, you have like 100 users, and all those users will not, or they will ramp up after 2 seconds or 3 seconds or after like 5 seconds each users. Let me show you this one here. Okay, so what happens here is the users will start to ramp up, right? This is for an example I'm telling you in terms of a banking application where you want to find the response time of a particular transaction. Say, for example, how much time does it take for everyone to when they're transferring an amount. So taking for an example, when they are transferring their account or when they are sending money to another account. So when they want to click, they want to select their item, they want to select the amount, they have to choose the end user account or whoever the user is, and then they're selecting that item, all the details, they have selected everything and test data is ready. Before they click on submit, what I want as a user is I want to use all the users to click that particular button, that submit button at the same point. So you have all your, say for example, you have your 0 user here. At one point of time, you get to see all your 100 users. So now what happens at this point of time is, since every user have logged in one after the other, they were not doing the same transaction. Like the first user will be logging in here, the second user here, third user here. So based on that, every user will be doing their transaction at a separate point of time. But what I want is all the users must hit the submit button at the same time. So I set a Rendezvous point. So anytime when the submit transaction comes, all the users will wait. So for example, the first user will come already to this point. Second user will join him later. Third user will join. They will wait until all the 100 users comes to this point. And then once all the 100 users are at this point, they will all click the submit button at the same time. So that is what the Rendezvous point is, and then after that they'll start to do again the transactions normally based on their transactions, like whatever they have, and that goes like that. So Rendezvous point is something where all the users, all the active users will come in and click or do that particular transaction at the same point of time. So that is Rendezvous point for you. Hope Vikram, I think I have answered your question. Thank you. And yeah, coming back to this one, so let's do a quick check. So I'm on the user path. So in case if you have like multiple user paths, then make sure you're using the right user path. Say for example, if I have another user path here, user path 1, and if you click on this one, so make sure you are selecting the right user path. You're welcome, Vikram. You're selecting the right user path for running your test. So in this case, I'm going to test my user path 0, and then I'm clicking on start checking. So this will actually help you to test or to check whether your script is working fine or if there is anything going wrong. So here, yes, we can see there are some errors. And yep, this favorite icon 404, which means this item is not found. So the quick solution is, okay, again, if you want to go to this, we cannot make any changes for the request here. So all you have to do is click on select and design. Go back to design here and then right click on it and click on enable. So once you click on enabled, this will not be anymore used in a script. And then here you have another issue, which is NL redirect 03. So have anybody faced this issue while you are using NeoLoad? This NL redirect 03, yes or no? Yes, Yomani, yep. I think you've joined just now and you're saying yes. Fine, thank you. Okay, cool. So let's see what is the issue. So here, if I go to that action, it tells me that the request types follow the redirect of the previous request. So instead, what I have to do is select this and use the manual definition, and I will choose the server path name, URL, and everything. So basically what happens is the system, the NeoLoad tool cannot perform the redirect. So that's the reason it is failing. So what we did is we have actually set up the proper redirection. So that's the reason we will be able to run the test, and the previous request did not perform a redirection. So that's the reason. So the previous request, when it means that this particular request does not do the proper redirection. So that's the reason we are able to, we are getting this error. And then there is one more at the bottom. what was it? It is 500 error. So 500 is something like an internal error, which is mainly if we are trying to record a particular transaction. So when you're trying to update the databases, yep, we get that. Fine, let's fix it. Okay, so for now we have got three issues and let the three errors in the script, and let's try to fix it now. Yep, so the first is solved and the second is also solved and the third one, yep, we do get that, and that's because the database error. So what I'll do is let me try one thing. So this actually happens very common. So what happens is most of the time if there is any cache or anything else, cache or cookies that's stored in your machine, so you have to delete the data, and you have to re-record your script again, because sometimes what happens is when your browser will supply some data and that will actually throw some errors. So let's try it again. Go back here. We support one, and so as we all know, what is the standard to enter the URL. So let me just quickly enter it. And signing out. Yeah. So now if you see, when we were doing this for the first time, we were getting a lot of requests, right? So since I have removed all of them and then I have unselected this one, so because of that, those requests are not getting recorded. So I don't know whether there's an option to add a custom request. Why do we need to add a custom request, Revant? What custom request are you talking about? Sorry. What custom request? Just give me a quick explanation. I'll understand. Let me remove this because these are not previously in the list. So let me remove it, and I have unselected this record unselected host next time so that these won't be recorded for the next time. Click on next and click on next again. And next again, overwrite. Yes, as I told you, we have to make it to 0. Next, select this one here. Username, password, let's keep it as it is. User record account, that should be fine. And now we have got the script. So let's do a quick validation. We have re-recorded the entire script for this. So for the vendor download, I will be able to manually add a request. Okay, you can actually add a request. We can do it. But for now, since we are doing for the first time, I don't want to bring those difficult level, Revant. Yes, we can do it. We can actually add a particular script. We can do it. So, for example, if I want to add a particular thing, I can go here and I can insert after. I can add the request. I can do it. We have option to do it. I can insert after, or I can insert as a child. I can add any request. I can add a web page. I can add a HTTP request, uh, CPL or whatever, a WebSocket or push action. So we have options to do it. But since most of us were beginner at this level, so I don't want to bring it, bring that now. So, and again, this is something related to the cache and cookies. So even if I do it, if the cache and cookies were there, then we might get that issue. So now in this case, after I do this action, so now this particular issue is solved. I mean, this is mainly a cookie issue. So it has been removed and now we can see, thank you, your order has been submitted, which is fine. And the first thing is we always have to enable it, so disable it. So any doubts so far in terms of recording the script? Any doubts? Or in terms of fixing the NL redirect -03 error. Any doubts? If nobody has any doubts, at least give a ping that you don't have any doubts. Or if you, thanks, Revan. Or if you have any doubts, please do comment that in the message section. Yep.
In this NeoLoad, we need to manually enter the proxy settings or else. So,
Hmm, no, you don't need to enter any manual proxy settings. So do you have your NeoLoad installed in your machine, Niranjan?
yes, sir. As of now, I'm logging in my mobile phone, sir, because of uh, here there is no power in my.
Fine. What you do is try recording a script with your basic settings. You don't need to make any proxy settings in your system. Try recording and see what happens and tell me. Okay, and after that we'll discuss. Because if you're asking me that whether do we need to use any proxy, I would say we don't need any proxy, because as I told you, NeoLoad will use the system's proxy. NeoLoad will
Okay,
use
sir.
the
Okay.
system's proxy. If you're using your client network, then NeoLoad will use the client network settings. But before that, you have to make sure that you are making this particular setting. So go to your proxy. You have to add a proxy. It can be automatically detect the settings if it is your client's network. If it needs any manual configuration, yes, you have to give the manual configuration. It
Okay,
is
sir. Okay.
required, but it depends on where and how are you going to do it. If it is in a client network, yes, we have to give the proxy. If it is in your manual in your own machine, you don't need a proxy.
Okay.
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 And